Alright, hello to whoever's watching this video. It's my first ever YouTube video. First ever time recording anything, really. I just figured people would want to watch me play video games, I guess. I started playing this game, Tiny Rogues, recently, and the community seems pretty small for this game, even though I think it's one of the most fun games I've played in recent memory, so figured I would throw my hat in the ring, try and get some videos out there and see how that goes over. So I've got 8 hours, 26 runs already in this game. I haven't maxed out the mastery. It maxes out at 30. But I've already gotten quite a few of the characters unlocked. These are the lists of the ones I'm missing, and I'll have to fill these out at some point, but figured I would just go over the basics of what I have and haven't done in this game in the first video, so if anybody, cares what I do and don't know about the game, they'll be able to know off the bat. So yeah, these are my unlock lists. I find that I like the magic classes more than the melee or ranged classes. I just struggle with a lot of the non-magic ones. I felt like the higher tier magic weapons were more fun and more powerful than the higher tier like melee weapons, but I guess that's not always the case. I do have all of the Cinder mods unlocked. These are things that basically just make your game harder, but they give you a bonus to XP for the mastery tree. Then I'll get into what my setup looks like for that soon. And these are the starting gifts. They unlock at different mastery levels. If I'm running a magic class, I usually do the mana elixir because it's a permanent potion. Basically helps your mana refund. If I'm doing an armor class, I think I usually end up with the repair powder. Not really sure how often this replenishes itself. It might only be once per floor or something, but armor is super useful if you can get it. And then if I'm trying to do like secret room runs, I'll start with bombs. The rest of these I don't really... Dice cases, actually, I've heard recently dice cases are really clutch starting gift, but I'll get into why that is once we actually start the run, I guess. Let's see. Anything else? Mastery tree, I guess we can get into. So this can sort of seem overwhelming, I guess. It kind of was a little bit when I first looked at it. It's a pretty decently sized tree, but it's not as ridiculously big as it could be. I'll go with the options I have now, and then the options I'm trying to unlock and I would like to have in a completed tree, because as you can see, I'm only mastery level 7, or level 22, and so I don't quite have all my points, but over here, +1 luck. Luck is honestly one of the most important stats in this game that I've, interacted with. It gives you some chances for critical hits, and it has a chance to upgrade floor rewards, and the higher luck you have, the better you're gonna, the deeper in runs you'll be able to go more consistently. I kind of have this unlocked just as a way to get to Treasure Hunter, which highlights secret rooms, and that's gonna key into another one of my hopeful unlocks soon. That I don't quite have unlocked yet. Easy mode is just, free ability to basically just help you get way deeper into runs. Over here I have glass half empty. Enchanted enemies, especially when you're using some of the Cinder perks, can be a real pain in the behind. So I basically just have this so I encounter less of them, because usually you have enough DPS to deal with floor enemies, even if even if they are enchanted, but sometimes when you're running the Cinder things, they just get too much of a pain to deal with. I might honestly, so the other option is 50% less, but 25% more health and armor. I might swap back and forth between these. I haven't really tried the glass half full. But then I have Vanity. So Vanity is one of my favorite abilities because going into a boss room, you'll basically have a chance of a couple of different perk rewards, basically, from the bosses. And sometimes they'll say, oh, you're guaranteed one rare item. But once you get the Vanity upgrade, it'll make sure every item is at least rare, if not higher. And that keys in with one of my other perks over here. So this, honestly, I think should be the first thing most people unlock. So you come over here, you get healing rewards 50% more common while at the brink of death. I've honestly never noticed this, so I have no clue how useful it is. But Rebirth is super useful. Getting that free revive just helps you learn more about the game, learn more about bosses' attack patterns, and get you deeper into runs more consistently, which will then get you more mastery level. Ice rewards grant 2 additional ethereal dice. This will let you reroll traits every time you level up. Ethereal dice and red dice are both kind of equally useful to me. So I kind of sometimes go back and forth between them, but traits can really define your run, so I usually swap to ethereal dice. Red dice let you reroll upcoming rooms, basically. So if you see a room you don't like, you can change it. So that's why those are useful. And then over here, weapons gain a 25% chance to spawn pre-enchanted. Weapon levels are pretty cheap to get, especially with one of my other perks I'll get to here in a second. So I normally go with the enchantment one, because enchanting is a lot more expensive than upgrading, for me right now at least. Over here, you are more likely to get weapons of the same type you started with, so that basically means if you start as a melee class, and then you level up your strength a whole bunch, you're more likely to get weapons that will benefit from your melee upgrades. So you don't have to change what stat you're upgrading in the middle of a run. Legendary weapons are 15% less common. This is a fairly unfortunate upgrade, but it's used to gate what I think is probably the most impactful upgrade I've gotten so far, which is Odyssey. Epic weapons and equipment are 30% more common. So legendaries are almost basically a free win of the final boss death, and then even beyond death. But epic weapons can pretty much guarantee you to at least get to death and the final boss, and if you have good traits and you've been smart with your upgrades, those are basically a free win as well. So you're taking a 15% hit on the legendary weapons to get the extra epic weapons. Up here, I'll just breeze through this one real quick. Health flasks, they heal you 1 health. Starting with an additional health flask is really useful. You do consume flasks really slowly, but I'm normally using my flasks after finishing off a floor anyways, so I always go with the additional one. Gold prices are reduced by up to 20%, makes things cheaper. Floor 1 always contains a shop. This isn't really useful, but it's because it's hard to get gold on the first floor, but it's used for all of these. So this one, items that have a cost gold have a 25% chance to cost souls instead, and vice versa. Equipment and weapon chests have a 20% chance to contain an additional item. This one's really useful. Inflation and deflation are basically a way to game the system with bulk seller. Deflation is more useful for bulk seller. So bulk seller, with each consecutive item sold at the pawn shop, the following item sells for +2 gold. If you just stack your inventory with weapons that you're not going to use, you can just sell them all at once with deflation at the pawn shop. Just makes so much gold, and then you're able to buy all of the consumables that you come across, all of the upgrades that you come across. Weapons are going to be slightly more expensive, but bulk seller helps offset that, basically. And that's whole pawn shop is a room that's one of the upgrades I want to get back to. Money at the spot, which guarantees pawn shops on set floors. I usually only see like 1 or 2 a run unless you have one of these upgrades, so that's very useful to have. And then up here, the upgrade path that I'm currently going through, start with a soul heart. This is a heart that if you lose it, you don't get it back. Head start lets you start with +1 XP. Coming over here, rooms are never smaller than their base size. This is, I mean, it gives you more room to run around in, basically. But it's not overly important. Ebb and flow takes some floors away, or some rooms away from the earlier floors and adds them to the later floors. This is another, like, kind of negative one, because the later floors are more difficult. But it gates Secret Service, which guarantees you 1 secret room per floor. And if you remember, that pairs with Treasure Hunter, which highlights secret rooms. You usually only see 1 secret room per run, if any, when I'm running this, but pairing it with this, you're going to see 10 a run, and that's just a whole bunch of extra stuff. And then this also unlocks trust issues. So you get more mimics, and mimics drop good rewards, and if the rewards don't fit your current run, they usually sell for a lot, and you can combine them with bulk seller and deflation to really just get a whole lot of rewards, basically. Then down here, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 of my remaining points. Down here will be 5, 6 to get over to the pawn shops appearing. Then you're going to do Rise or Fall or Perseverance. I think I would probably end up going Perseverance to prevent negative enchantments rather than guaranteeing a positive enchantment, because negative enchantments can really hurt you if you're not able to get to the enchantress at the tavern quick enough. And then another one of the sort of most important perks on this was one of the first ones I upgraded before I started classing over to get Odyssey, was Royal Descent. So it basically doubles your chance to get a Royal Armory. 10% per run kind of sucks, but the Royal Armory always has very good weapon rewards. And my last run, I got a Royal Armory that had legendary weapons that were just absolutely insane, that I'll probably talk about a little more once I get into my first run here on this video. But when it happens, it comes in super clutch, and it almost guarantees you're going to finish the run. So if you hit that 10% chance, you're usually home free. In terms of progression in the game, that's what this tab is for me. You start out just trying to play the game, then it asks you to defeat Death for the first time. He's the final boss after 10 floors. This unlocks new sets of alternate floors for you, so does the first one. And then you're tasked with beating Death with 5 different classes, which I've done with... I did one with the Pyromancer, even though I didn't end up using much fire damage with him. One with the Sorcerer. One with the Wanderer, who has the event room on every floor, which is a really nice boost. One with the Cleric, who was my favorite class to run with so far. I'll get into that as well. I think that was the first class I actually got a win with. And then one with the Knight, which is one of the starting classes. So not much with the melee classes, but anyways, after you've defeated Death, finish that 10th floor run. Then you have to defeat the Guardian of the Shadow Plains, which was this bone dragon past Death, basically. You have to finish another floor beyond Death. And I did that, and then I got up to this pool of Golden Ichor, I think it was called, after I defeated that bone dragon, and it just insta-killed me. So I don't know if I could have just walked past it. There was a gate past it that I might have been able to open. I don't really know anything beyond that. So I'm not really metagaming that part of the game, but I still have a couple, of achievements left to go, and this game did just get this update between Heaven and Hell. They did also announce 3 more updates that I believe are going to add new rooms, basically, or new floors. So I think this game's really on a good track. It's only $10 on Steam, and I really love it. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and randomize a class to start with. If it's somebody I've already won with, I'll probably randomize again. Yep. But I'm not really interested in winning on this video. I just kind of wanted to give some of my background. So Bandit gets free gold. So some of my upgrades with the bulk seller might not be as useful this round. It's also not a magic class, so I think I'm gonna go with dice case so I can explain what some of the dice do. I've never actually done a run with the Bandit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the inventory. Basic crossbow, descaling in dexterity, kind of rough. 10% increased attack speed is okay. And we get armor, which gives us ambush, which basically gives us extra damage at the start of combat. Yeah, so 8 seconds is usually about how long a room takes anyways, so that's decent. You'll notice here in the inventory you've got a bunch of different slots. Anything in most of these slots is going to count towards that equip load you see, but weapons do not count towards equip load, and your accessory usually does not count towards equip load. And if you get over your equip load, you have different debuffs to movement speed and your dodge, recharge, and etc. You normally have 8 slots. I should have gone over my Cinder perks. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. Basically, one of my Cinder perks removes a couple of my inventory slots, because I'm never really carrying that many consumables, so it kind of hurts the bulk seller, but I'm just doing it to level up to 30. The ones I have enabled are double-edged sword, 25% less health for bosses in the first phase, but 25% more in the second phase. If you can beat the first phase of a boss, you're usually... I mean, the second phase is a bit more challenging, but you're usually skilled enough to beat the second phase. So it's kind of an easy upgrade. Floors contain up to 3 times more packs of enchanted enemies. This one's kind of rough because enchantments can get crazy. But as long as you're staying away from one of the other Cinder upgrades that I'll talk about, you'll be fine. Stamina regeneration is delayed on the first few floors. This basically means you can't dodge as often, but the first few floors are super easy anyway, so this might be honestly the most free upgrade in the whole list. Sometimes doors are spiked, which would inflict damage to you when you go through them. You can remove them with bombs, and bombs are usually falling out of the sky for me on runs, so this is usually a no-brainer. -2 inventory slots. As I said, I don't usually use the full inventory. Calamitous Visions adds more oppressive enemy enchantments into the pool of enemy enchantments. This one can be is part of what makes the game more tough. There's some crazy enchantments in there. And Pestilence basically makes poison last 10 additional rooms. Poison is a rough one that basically reduces your healing flasks to half of their normal ability. Reduces all of your healing, I think, actually. But you can recover poison at campfires, and only a couple of the floors really have the ability to poison you anyways. I very rarely get poisoned, so I usually do this one. It's usually pretty easy to deal with if you can finish out the floor. In terms of ones to stay away from, I don't like inferior arms because I don't like negative enchantments. They're pretty expensive to get rid of, and also you're not guaranteed to get the enchanter, so you might not be able to get rid of it. Cascading Pain. If you're doing a curse run, this is a good one to enable, but curses really screw me over more than they help me, and I haven't done a full curse run yet, so I stay away from it. Remote Guardians adds automatons to the boss rooms. This just makes bosses even more crazy and hectic, so I ignore that one. Doomed to Fail. If you have the dice to deal with it, is good for some free mastery XP. So since I'm having the dice starting trait, or starting gift, I might just enable that for this run to get the extra XP. But it really can piss you off if you get the wrong traits. It basically makes your first level up randomize and hide what the traits are for you, and because your first couple traits are so important for defining your run and telling you what to pick up throughout the run, that can, really hurt you. Arch Nemesis, bosses, mimics, and basilisks are enchanted. That's just suicide to me. Just makes those boss fights even more hard. Centurion Hunters, I haven't even turned this one on yet, but it basically makes it so automatons spawn in the normal floors. That just sounds hard to deal with. Conqueror's Will makes it do less damage for the first 8 seconds of Phase 1 and Phase 2 of a boss fight. And I really like to blitz down the bosses, so I stay away from that one. Undeath's Door, it's you basically have to get through. If you're running an armor class, it really screws you. If you're running a normal class, it basically just means you have to get through the first floor hitless, which isn't the toughest thing to do, but I'm going to stay away from it for this run just in case. And Twice Enchanted is probably the one perk that nobody should ever turn on unless you're doing a maximum Cinder run. Having double enchanted enemies combined with a couple of these 3 times more likely to do the enchantments and the additional enemy enchantments, plus letting them be twice enchanted, is just completely ridiculous. It'll be a while before I go for a Cinder 16 run, and this is one of the main reasons why. And especially because once you get up to 200%, each additional Cinder only adds 10 and then down to 5% enchantments, or Mastery XP, so there's not much point in doing it for leveling up when you can get, you know, almost the same amount with a much easier set to deal with. So anyways, I think that's probably enough talking. I'll just go ahead and get into a run. So I already went through what the inventory is. This is the dice bag. Red dice reroll your upcoming rooms. So if I didn't want gold or a key, I could re-roll it, or if I had a curse reward in one of these, I could re-roll the rooms. Ethereal dice re-rolls the traits you get in trait selection, so this will help you build the traits you want, actually, over the course of a run. Golden dice changes items offered in shops. I don't use these as much, I don't even find them as much, but I guess they're pretty helpful. And then Obsidian dice is part of why I picked the Doomed to Fail trait. So that if I get a trait that I don't want over here, I can re-roll it with the Obsidian dice. It'll change it with a random new trait, and I'll probably get more dice over the course of a run anyways. So, figure that's finally enough talking. I'll just go ahead and get started. So because I'm the bandit, I inherently get gold every combat encounter, so I'm going to go ahead and ignore this gold room and start going for keys. I don't have any bombs, so I can't blow up that rock yet, so now I'm kind of forced to go over here, unless I wanted to waste one of my red dice, but I like to save those. And you can already see all of these enchantments. I've gotten enchantments on both rooms, and I just started. So we're going to go ahead and go for dexterity. Figure we're going to go for a crit ranged build, but that's subject to change at any point. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep building up our key stacks, because sometimes you can get secret rooms that are locked, but they also have like a locked chest in them. So, you know, that's kind of frustrating to deal with. And I think we're going to go ahead and go. Every food item you pick up gives you 1 XP, and every 5 XP you level up and get a new trait until you hit level 6. This is part of the reason I don't like ranged weapons. Oh, we just got a luck buff for this gold on the left, and I don't have any bombs to get rid of the spikes on the right yet, so we'll just go ahead for the gold and hope to have another chance to go to a shop later. Go ahead and do the key. And now we're at our boss room. So companions are a whole level of build crafting in this game that I haven't even touched yet. Sometimes in the later floors it's hard enough for me to keep track of enemy attacks and boss attacks that having your companions on screen running around with their own effects and attacks just kind of makes it tough to see what's going on for me. And it's also kind of hard for me to see how to make them useful. I know it's possible, I know there's a whole level of thinking to the companion runs, but I'm personally not able to make them work very well at the point in the game I'm at. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this offhand. I don't have an offhand yet. Might actually try and re-roll these rewards, see if I can get a rarity. Accessory or charm? No. Offhand or summoning, that's unfortunate. Accessory or gloves? There we go. So that's actually huge. Choices are all at least rare. That's the level just below epic. And it's kind of tough to get rare rewards early on in a run. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that and just try and melt down this Minotaur. So you'll be able to see on this fight the sort of differences between Phase 2 and Phase 1 of boss fights. But I've got a lot of experience fighting Minotaurs, so the best way to do it is super easy. Pick up our souls from him. And take a look at our boss rewards. So, first of all, I'm super colorblind. I think this middle item is a set item. Snowflake Ring, increased effect of cold ailment status effects. I don't have any cold yet, and there's no guarantee I'll get anything decent that's cold. Elven Cloak is part of a set, so I'll take a look at that here in a second. And the Power Belt grants plus 20 power, which is basically a free 20% damage in AoE. So if I look at the effect for this one gives you 1 evade, which I don't like at all. I actually despise evade. It's very hard to refill. It's basically just like health or block or shield, or armor, I guess, except it's nearly impossible to refill. And guaranteed shrines. Shrines are just like potions, but they've never been super busted, so in my experience. So I'm not going to bother trying to build this set, but there's a ton of different sets in the game. Some of them can be super game-changing for you, so I think we're going to go with the Power Belt for now. This one does actually add equip load, so we got to keep track of our equip load with the rewards coming up, but that's basically floor 1 done. You'll notice after every floor you get this campfire. It lets you attune items. Some items don't let you use their effects until you fill up the attunement, which is done by passing through rooms. He'll let you basically permanently add a heart container, a stamina point, or a mana point in the middle of a run, which expires at the end of the run. So you usually want to save souls for that towards the end of a run. And then you can fully recover, which will refill your hearts and flasks. This is usually what I do in the course of a run. I'm not really sure what the point of souls is in the metagame, and I haven't really seen any use for them back at the main screen, so I usually end up just using them all in the middle of a run. We're going to go ahead and go with the dexterity, try and get our first trait. And I was a little surprised that I liked this game as much as I did, because I've tried a ton of different roguelikes. We're going to go ahead and get bombs here. I've tried a ton of different roguelikes. One of the ones I tried more recently was Vampire Survivor, which I know is really good and a lot of people like it. But I just have never been able to make them work. They've never really clicked with me until I started playing this game. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what weapons we can get. This one has a C scaling index. This one has C in dex, E in strength, and this one has D in both. Mini B, if you can upgrade it to level 4, goes into the Maxi B. I've never been able to get it all the way there, but it does do poison damage, and I'm a big fan of poison. This one has a 25% chance for repeated attacks. If we had already leveled up, I would probably be looking into that one, because you can get a lot of traits that deal with repeated attacks, but I think I'm just gonna go with the B for now, and I'm gonna try and get it, you know, upgraded to level 4, see if we can't evolve that. And we got luck here, which gives us more bombs. Do I have a helmet? We don't have anything with explosions, so this is kind of pointless. And I don't usually drop bombs. This stuff all synergizes with each other, but I don't normally drop bombs to damage enemies. 20% increased movement speed isn't all that great. 100% increased bomb damage and area radius would be nice, but I would have to fill out the set with gloves. And there's some pretty good gloves out there, so I'm just going to pass on the rest of the stuff in this room. And we leveled up. We're going to go ahead and actually not see what our traits are. These are all dex-based traits because they're green, so I figure we'll just go with the one in the middle and see what it is. On critical hit, inflict fatigue. Reduces movement speed and increases damage from critical hits by 50%. So I guess we're going to be really going for a crit build here. That's actually huge. I'm not going to bother re-rolling that one. So the main issue is getting critical hits and starting a crit build. We're not going to +1 crit chance, though. Normally I try and stay away from, you know, stats that aren't directly related to the class I'm using, but there, it's probably worth it. You really see Poison's effect on bosses. I think we're gonna have to burn a key here. I don't really want to build up Curse this early in a run. We're gonna go ahead and go with the Charm and hope that we get a Charm that helps with crits or adds an effect on crits. So Mulking is kind of a pain to deal with sometimes because he goes underground and then the poison stops ticking on him, even though the poison tick still goes down. But while he's out here, we can just let that poison tick him, and he's already basically almost dead. And there we go. I'm actually not sure if Dice Bag would guarantee us... I mean, those are pretty nice. If Dice Bag would guarantee us a charm if we rerolled these rewards. 25% increased damage to dragons. You do fight a bone dragon after death to get into the Shadow Realm, but it's not the greatest charm. Set of body armor on non-triggered lucky hit. Shoot a beer mortar, dealing that much striking damage. +10 to maximum tipsiness is good. Or we could do the Elven Gloves. Shrine status effect. Yeah, we could have paired this with a set reward earlier. But like I said, I'm not really big on shrines. So I think we're going to end up going with the Lederhosen. And that does get rid of our ambush, but that's okay. And then we get here a shop to spend our souls at. 5% lucky hit chance. Do we do thrusting damage right now? We do. Stacking bleed on top of poison is tempting, but we would lose our power, which is basically a 20% damage decrease. I think we're going to go with the lucky hit and not spend any more of the souls. Try and save them for later in the run and move on to floor 3. Just go ahead and attune items, even though I don't think I have anything I need to attune. We'll go for the crit chance here. So lucky hits basically let... If you get a lucky hit to trigger, it'll roll twice for a critical hit, and it'll take whatever the higher damage between the two rolls is. So it basically gives you a higher chance of getting crits, even though my crit chance is only like 2% right now. We're gonna go for the dice here because I don't want to waste my last key. This beer throwing has not proven to be super useful. We're gonna go with the double upgrade here. So So part of why I really like... Oh, there's a couple of crits there. Part of why I really like the mage classes is they have really high area of effects on their attacks. So if you dodge that first initial blast upon entering a room, you can get a bunch of the enemies when they're all right on top of each other, and it just makes it easier to deal with. Double crit multiplier does not mean crit chance. It means how much damage your crit will do. I don't really like this goat. Guaranteed ruthless hit is alright, but... Trigger your on-bomb effects. Now, we don't have any on-bomb effects, so I'm actually going to reroll this set. Battle Rush. We're not doing melee, so we're going to skip over that. Shock Aura. Aura is kind of a tough thing for me to deal with. Kind of just adds more clutter to the screen, so we're just going to recharge this one. Booze buffs are permanent. Could be really good if we had the increased booze, because you could really build up beer. Where did I get that increased tipsiness limit? Oh, I think we might. Guarantees of critical hits. Ooh, I like both of these. If we fill out the set, I'll re-roll stuff until I can get boozer, I think. Non-triggered lucky hit, that's... Okay. We're gonna go with the Rogue's Mark, and we'll see what happens. So we can already see I'm only on floor 3 and things are already starting to get kind of hectic, but I kind of hate the plant floor anyways. This is one of the floors where you can get poisoned, and there are some enemies that I haven't encountered yet on this floor that are some of the most annoying enemies in this game, so... We do have a chance for Pawn Shop, and I'm actually gonna go... well, I guess I don't need to. We're gonna do it, because... Go ahead and take advantage of my bulk seller. Get rid of some of the stuff we don't need, and then we can go into the tavern. And we can get our bee enchanted, because we have just a ton of gold now. And we got legendary, that is huge. So now I really want to try and get this guy upgraded. Let's see. 5% melee crit chance, we're not running melee. 10% melee attack speed, we're not running melee. The real kicker is, yeah, beer. Crit multiplier would be nice. So basically, if we had that boozer buff and the set from the Lederhosen, we would be able to just stock up on 13 beers, which would be just a 130% damage increase. Or we could throw in some of these tequilas to get more crit multiplier. That would be huge. We're going to go ahead and buy some presents from Santa because I got a lot of money right now. And hope that we get an upgrade. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hope that we get an upgrade stone. So we did get the whetstone. We'll go ahead and use that. And now we're almost to +4. We're going to need a charm or something to upgrade this past 3. But we'll deal with that when we come to it. Stamina Surge is kind of useless. I don't have any offhand. And I do have a lot of extra cash right now. We'll buy that because it's cheap, and we'll buy that for the free block. But we have to attune it first. And we'll bomb that. And keep going. So we can already see I'm getting a pretty decent amount of critical hits, but I think my crit chance is still... I don't know what my crit chance is right now, but... Go ahead and go for the keep pressing the wrong buttons. We'll go ahead and go for the guaranteed glove. Now this boss is kind of annoying. He's not as annoying as the other tree boss that you can fight, so I'm not heartbroken about this. Oh, Jesus. So yeah, a lot going on the screen in that one. And I was more focusing on trying not to get hit than I was on hitting him. But we'll go ahead and see. That is crazy. Your flask repairs a point of armor. All damage from your bow and crossbow attacks is considered to be at close range. That's sort of pairs with some close range traits you can get. I'm not going to bother with that. 30% increased damage to enchanted enemies. I'm going to see a lot of enchanted enemies, so while this is a rare, I'm going to go ahead and go with this one because we're still trying to build out that Lederhosen buff. And we'll just have to see how that goes. I might go ahead and just drink the wine now. Basically gives me increased damage over time, and it'll wear off in 10 floors. Starting to run out of bombs, so we'll go for that one. And this floor is really where things start getting crazy. +1 mana when bombed is actually useless for us on this run, since I'm not doing a magic run. But I don't want to get cursed, so I might re-roll these. Drops gold when bombed, or 10 to 15 gold. Also kind of useless. We'll just go with this, because this would probably be about 15 to 20 gold anyways, and we're going to get more because we're the bandit, and we get some every time we finish an encounter. So that was a pretty good beer hit. Hit a lot of those enemies. I'm actually doing okay. I haven't been hit yet, so. Rare weapons. Oh, if we go for the Lederhosen buff, that would be nice, but I'll just have to hope we get another tavern on this run. Oh boy, these look like E-scaling index. Inflicts judgment. Oh, that's pretty nice. C-scaling in strength, we're not really all that high in strength. 100% lethal hit against bosses is actually insane. But it doesn't do a whole ton of base damage, so that's not that crazy. And this is a magic weapon, so I think we're just going to go with the Crossglaive. And see how this one goes. So it goes a fixed distance from us. I guess we'll have to burn the key, get more dice. See, now this is really nice for enemy ad clearing. This is a really nice pickup. And we got more items. Pus Spitter. It's base poison damage on top of the thrusting damage. that's okay. 75 equip load capacity is crazy. On dash gain combat prowess, that's melee damage. We don't really need that. Epic Boots. Gives +1 evade. And I hate evade. 5 combat encounters without taking damage or evading is crazy for refreshing. So I think this gives suppression, which is basically a free hit during boss fights. I think we're just gonna pass on all of these. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Jesus. Those gravestones can be a real pain to deal with. upgrade weapons. So this will let us get the Mini B to 3. So we need to find some other way to get it to 4. There's a secret blacksmith that you can get on later floors that can upgrade to 4, or you can get charms that upgrade weapon levels, or some other like armors that do it. So we're just gonna have to try that. We're actually gonna go for the intelligence here because it gives us plus critical hit chance. This is actually really nice because it can hit on the return too, and that just gives us more chance to get a crit. We'll go with the helmet here. I'm not going to bother re-rolling this. So the gargoyles are kind of annoying. These are actually... I'm fairly certain these are an homage to a Dark Souls 1 boss. But they're also kind of like Ornstein and Smo in that one of them gets some of the other's abilities when the first one dies. That's crazy. It's a really good boss run. We still haven't seen any secret rooms, which is unfortunate. So this is a set. It's not part of the drinking set, doesn't look like. Plus 5 intelligence would give us more crit chance. Charm the nearest enemy. Far range damage is not all that useful. And a shark tooth necklace. I guess we'll go with this and look to replace it later. The 5 intelligence is nice for the crit chance. Doesn't do anything for our weapon scalings right now. We're just gonna sit here, go for strength. This floor, these enemies here that are shooting these sort of homing hearts at me are, in my opinion, the second most annoying enemies in the game. We actually made it through without getting to the first most annoying enemies in the game, so that was fortunate. Well, there's our first hit of the run. Luckily it went towards our block damage, which will recharge at the start of the next floor, so not the end of the world. This is, like, unfortunate. I'm not getting any bombs or keys. I'm not really interested in upgrading any weapons right now, so I guess we'll go for the set stash, and I'll think. So these pools, I think, can poison me, so I gotta be careful about those. I'm gonna go ahead and open this and hope that I get the set. Does not look like I got it. Thief Hood, 50% crit multiplier. But completing the Thief set basically removes the need for keys, because the minigame is super easy. Lockpicking minigame. And the Santa set, I honestly don't know if the Santa set's very good. So I think I'll pick up both of them in case I can sell them later. But I don't really think I'm going to be equipping either of them. I am getting a lot of critical hits, so that's nice. Intelligence Crunch gives you upgrades on your next 4 intelligence buffs. This restores all armor, which I don't have any of right now, and this upgrades your weapon, which I can't use on either of them, because they're both maxed, so I guess I'll keep that on hand in case I get an absolutely insane ranged weapon on the later floors. So this weapon is also kind of tough because it kind of clutters the screen for me a little bit, but anyways. Not doing explosion damage. We do have a decent lucky... Oh, we have 5% lucky hit chance. That's unfortunate. And this is an aura. We do have plenty of reroll abilities, so... Increased damage equal to the reduction of their movement speed. I don't know that we're reducing that much. Steady Strikes is... tempting. We'll go ahead and keep rerolling though. Deal a critical hit, gain Berserk. We're doing a lot of critical hits. 20% more attack and movement speed. We have a 36% crit chance. That's not bad. Crushing Hit, that was the first time I ever beat death, was with Glass Cannon. A lot of people don't like Glass Cannon, but if you build into Crushing Hits, they're super busted. But we'll just go ahead and go with that. And this is actually a pretty decent run for me. Let's see, do I take the consumables? I guess we will. That's a lot of crits. If I can just get, ooh, enchantment modifier to weapons. So this is already enchanted with legendary, so I don't want to mess with that. Quick 10% increased attack speed. I think we'll go ahead and use that. We got precise 10% crit chance. That's nice. And we'll pick this up just in case we get an absolutely insane weapon. I had this whole build the last time I beat death on my 5th winning run. I had this whole build going already. And then I got a legendary rainbow spear, I think it was. Ooh, first event room. Not sure what this is gonna do. Oh, free heal. Good thing I have taken 0 health damage. I had this whole run going, and then I got the rainbow spear, which deals every kind of damage and adds all these status effects to the enemies and is S-scaling with every single scale. And it basically just set the whole run, so... Anyways, 1 pair of boots because we don't have any. So we got him poisoned. This boss can be pretty annoying. In the second phase, specifically. But we're able to melt him down with this weapon because he stayed in place, and this is a really good boss weapon and add clear weapon. Let's see. Set boots, sheriff boots. We're not building into lucky hit very much now, so we'll ignore that. Defeating a boss without taking damage or gaining strength pickup, we'll ignore that. And we'll ignore the sheep costume. I guess we'll just pick this up. For the 5% lucky hit chance we have, and we'll probably sell that later. But anyways, here's the shop. There's more companion build stuff. 15% lucky hit chance. Do we build into the lucky hits now with the sheriff boots? Next attack with a gun or cannon is guaranteed to repeat. We do have the gun B. I don't know how, I mean, it's not looking very good for us getting this to level 4 right now. I'm not really feeling like spending that many souls on that, so we're gonna ignore it for now. But our block refilled. We can go ahead and get this dex pickup. Jesus. It's kind of tough to get the distance right on these. Do we use our last bomb on the crit chance? We don't really need gold, but I do want to save the bomb. Plus 3 crit chance does not make or break. And of course, we get a secret room. Probably via black market. And there goes our block. But we don't have any keys. So, that's unfortunate. Rare weapons. I think we're gonna go for the key instead. Oh, finally, punch up. With a shop right after. I'm about to get pretty decent amount. He doesn't buy any of these, so It's unfortunate. The block is kind of nice to have. 30% damage to enchanted enemies. How much would I get? Yeah. We'll just go ahead and keep that. 1 armor, melee weapon, and pursuit. We do have Hunter's Mark. But my current boots do the same thing. Pursuit and Swiftness look like they do... Well, Pursuit actually does better, and it's easier to activate than the Swiftness, so we might just get rid of that. And it is not the special guy, but we do get another tavern. We will buy some dice, because those are always nice to have, and I just got a ton of dice. So I really should be using more of these. I don't know if rerolling the rooms will reroll the lock as well. It will not. So we'll just go ahead and go in. These crabs can be pretty annoying to deal with. And it was cursed. Magic weapon or body armor? We're just gonna re-roll this until we get something that's nice. Charm is tempting, but I think we're gonna keep going for a rarity set item. It's kind of late in the run for that. More set items. That's really nice. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. What are my traits right now? Do I need to get rid of any of these? I do not. I guess we'll go with the gloves. I guess I probably should have gone with the body armor. So this boss is probably going to go down pretty quick. He likes to, in the second phase, he likes to sit in the corners. So that should make it easy to just hit him with a couple of these. I think I'm too focused on trying to get the poison on these bosses before I start hunting with the axe. So I think I might just forgo the poison until I can try and get it upgraded. We do get some nice drops here. Attack speed with ranged weapons while standing still, unfortunate. Lucky hit's intimidate. Our lucky hit is not good. Unfortunate. We should have done a lucky hit run, I guess. And 25%. Oh, what are we doing here? 5 intelligence. That's basically 5% crit chance is all that's doing for us. So I might go ahead and go with that. So we do lose that 5% crit chance, but we will get a ton of extra debuff on the enemy. So with our stuff like our Intimidate that we're getting on enemies, that'll be super useful. And we're gonna ignore the fear. Dear Lord. This actually turning out to be a pretty decent run. I'm not mad at this one. 3 dexterity is huge. We do need to start trying to focus on leveling up before we get to death. I'd like to have, there goes our soul heart finally. I like to have the maximum levels when I go into that. So we're not really on track for that right now. So we're actually gonna blow our last bomb here. Take a second here to just avoid. Still a lot of crits even without the extra intelligence from that helmet. And another event room. Fishing is unfortunate. Fish don't really do much for me in this run. Soul Snapper is kind of huge though. I've never even gotten one of those from this minigame. I guess we'll just keep going and hope we get another one. We do still have our free revive here. So, we're pretty set. I like to have the free revive going into death. That's kind of a trashy reward. It's only worth 5 gold at a sell. So, well, there goes the fishing. I don't really want to get any more curse. I think we already accidentally took that one curse from that room that I thought I re-rolled. So we're just going to come in. Ooh, it's a Mimic. And we don't have the double rewards yet. Oh, we do. Banshee Tome. It's a spellbook, and we're not doing spell. That is a ton of cold damage, plus a lot of... Come on, man. I guess we'll put it on for now, and this is honestly trash, so I'll probably drop... I'll use the whetstone on this, and then I'll pick that up just to maybe sell it at a pawn shop later. Oh, I don't really care about either of these options. That is such an absurd amount of damage that I just got on that crit, it's insane. I don't really want to respec into a magic run this late, though. Kind of like going with a ranged run. But it does do, like, a lot of damage. That's crazy. I might start with this to get some cold on the enemies, and then swap to this for higher DPS on bosses and stuff, maybe. But you can see... Lord. How this is pretty nice for, like, AoE stuff, and that does a ton of damage. One type of elemental damage. I have only frost, but I don't... Oh, I do have poison, so... Do I? I guess I'm not using the bee. Standing still for half a second, that's not very good. Unlucky hit, we still only have 5%. This is tempting, because I'm doing the cold damage, but I think I'm going to reroll. Increased debuffs. We do have a lot of debuffs. More lucky hit. Yeah, you guys can see how lucky is like a super good ability. Battle rush for 10 seconds. This is tempting. I'm going to move on. 150% crit multiplier at close range. I'm not sure how close we have to be, but given how much crit damage we're doing, that could be crazy. I think I'll do it for now, and I do have a lot of obsidian dice if I want to change it later if I see it's not having as big of an effect as I want it to. So frost slows enemies down, so I kind of like the idea of getting into a room and slowing everybody down and then hitting them. Set items again, dude, and I don't have any red dice left. So I guess we'll just go ahead. He looks like he's gonna resist frost damage. Yeah, it's less effective. Dear Lord. This is crazy. Yep, I might take my first res here. My only res. Yep, that is unfortunate. Now what I don't want to do is... Okay, that was close. That's unfortunate. I was saying I don't want to take any damage so I could save my flasks, but... Let's just dump this for now. Body armor. Increased damage over time. Filling out the angelic set is nice because you get the free res every floor, and it would give me 10% increased physical damage. Are we doing any physical? Man, do I want to try and fill out the set with the ring? I guess I might as well. +1 good is not all that useful. We're really getting into the meat of the run now, so I think what I'm gonna do is recover here and then give myself a health point. Just gives me a bit extra damage to play with. I don't want to get more curse. Okay, this is just being annoying. I don't need a melee weapon. We are melting these room enemies pretty quickly. I mean, these are just completely worthless rooms to me. Dear lord, man. Now things are getting kind of hectic. This is the part of the run where I wish I had the res to play with, but I literally just finished it. Okay, let me drop this over here for now. Use that. Power Shard is free XP. I don't have any armor, so I'm not going to bother with that. And we finally get a pawn shop, so I can sell a bunch of this crap that I don't need. Okay, well, I guess we're not going for the Angelic Set anymore, because I just sold that on instinct. We'll keep going for the Mini B. That's unfortunate. Costs more now. What's our offhand doing for us? 1 block, 2 armor. This just gives us 1 block. That's crazy. I want to do a magic run. Plus 50 critical hit multiplier. I mean, dear lord. I feel like it's telling me to just go into a... I think I'm gonna go with the door shield, swap it out with this one. Once we get it attuned, that'll be really nice. Really nice, actually. I wish I had kept that repair powder for the 2 armor. I'm gonna be stubborn and stick with what I have. I think. Well, I have a ton of money. If I don't need it, I can sell it later. That's crazy. I hate the tornadoes in this game. I really need to survive this room now. Dear lord. But luckily we now have the shield attuned, so I have a whole bunch more hits to play with. I'm just gonna drink both of these, because there's no point in saving them for me right now. Please be the hidden blacksmith so I can upgrade this bee. Unfortunate. Still no bombs, but it was cursed anyways. I really am not getting as many bombs or keys as I normally get in these runs. These are both kind of useless to me, but I have no dice to reroll them, so... Oh, gosh. I've never even fought this boss. Ornstein and Smo parody, looks like. Well, in Dark Souls, I normally kill Smo first because I want Ornstein's armor. So, I guess we will do that this time as well. Dear lord! Okay. Well. Dang it. Dear lord. It's just unfortunate. This is, it's kind of tough to predict where his frickin' lightning's going. Dear lord! Okay. Well, now I need to try and get some armor refresh because I just burned all my armor. And armor you cannot refill at the start of every floor, unlike health. And the wards look like they're going to be kind of trash. Don't have any lucky hit. I don't like standing still, even though fearing enemies is kind of useful. And I'm not doing mana, so pick that one up, sell it later, I guess. And of course, well, I'm going to be healing on the next floor anyway, so I'll go through there and see what he has. Agility potion. Ugh. +3 armor. Do I like that more than the 20 power? That's basically 20% damage, but I would also be encumbered. Top end damage. I like the idea of the extra armor. I would be encumbered. What could I take off? I guess I could take off this Lederhosen because I'm not getting lucky hits very much. I'd be swapping it out with the power belt anyways. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, my inventory's full. Duh. What the hell? Okay, this is kind of a scuffed run so far, but, you know, we're on floor 9. Might hopefully be able to make it to the boss, and we did get that extra 3 armor, so we'll go with the dexterity level up, because I still need... really focusing all my brain power on trying to avoid these rooms, or these projectiles right now. These rooms can get pretty annoying with the towers in them. Epic weapons. Could potentially replace the crossglaive here. Okay, well. That's unfortunate that that got cursed, because it's A-scaling with everything. What are the odds we get a tavern anytime soon to replace that? Tinkertop crossbow, 50% crit multiplier. Critical hits causes the next attack to repeat. Repeated attacks have a 100% lucky hit chance. That's crazy. If we get a good critical ability, that's crazy. And that's a spellbook, so I don't need it. What can I drop? I want to save this for death. Do I need this? I'll get rid of the buckler. It's the lowest rarity. We'll try out... We will try this one out. We'll go for the intelligence, for the experience. Holy crap. So if we get a good on-crit ability with one of our traits or something, this thing is going to go absolutely crazy. I'm gonna go for the event room. Okay. Okay. Let's just go star, moon. I have no clue what any of this does. Staircase? That is crazy. Okay. Red bed. Oh, this might add stats. What are my stats looking like? I'm gonna go for the dex, so I'm gonna go for the blue bed. Or the green bed. You permanently gained 1 stamina. That is unfortunate. I should have done the red bed for the free health. Well, now I know. It probably won't let me sleep in. Yeah. Do anything with these, I cannot. Well, gives me an extra dodge, so. Dear Lord. Thunder mask. Yeah, none of those are worth it. Oh, no shot. Do I gamble and hope it's the special blacksmith? I think I do, because I want to see what the upgrade is, and it wasn't. So there goes one of my blocks. And we do not have the guy who sells repair powder, but lucky for us, we can just refresh the tavern until we find him. I don't know that I've ever seen this guy. Oh, I have. Yeah, that's really not worth it. I'm just gonna reroll. I have enough gold. I'm gonna reroll until I get the repair powder guy, and then I'm gonna buy a couple repair powders because I have enough block now that repair powders are just gonna be absolutely busted. I don't. There he is. That's great. I haven't even tried this weapon yet. Don't need any of those. I could sell them. But I would much rather... Yeah, that's just crazy. I would much rather max out this stuff. I think I'm going to try out this weapon in the next room, see how it does. Do I gamble on the key? I think I'm going to go in the cake room. So... I don't want to blow the key. Yeah, I'm really not feeling this weapon, so... I guess I'll just have to sell it next time I get a chance. Put that in there so I don't forget. So this is two-handed, which means it disables my offhand, which is a lot of block and armor. So I think I'm going to start out with this, and then once I take a couple hits, I'm going to swap over to this, or if he's standing still or something. And we'll go for, hopefully, a charm that upgrades weapon level. This is another boss that I have not fought before. I am doing a crazy amount of critical hits, and yet he still has, I mean, a ton of health. I'm not really sure. So we're in danger of getting poisoned here, which I kind of want to avoid so I can save my souls for a health boost later. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Okay. We only took a little bit of damage there, so I'm not gonna bother wasting our repair powder. Save these for in case I take more damage on the later floors. Epic companion charm, of course. 10% damage to bosses. I don't even know if I need to look at any of these. Yeah, one maximum companion. That's kind of worthless to me because I'm not doing a companion run. And we might, on my first run, actually get to death. We'll see if we can get past him, but, you know. I didn't mean to do that, but I was probably going to do it before the final boss anyways, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Oh, we'll go for the... I'll probably get another stat level up, so we're going to go for the bombs. Okay. Alright, lady. Oh. I think I'm just gonna have to go for it now because these enemies are really annoying to deal with in a room like this. Holy crap. Okay. Now we're getting kind of hosed by my... Sort of, I don't have an absolutely insanely busted weapon for ad clear, and I also don't have any really good abilities for ad clear. This is just unfortunate. I have to hope that I get a good critical hit trait on this run after getting this. That room took way too long to clear. Oh, lethal hit chance. I do get a lot of mark rewards. Nothing for crits, though. That is highly unfortunate. We're gonna go for this because I think I'll get a key, and that is so awesome you don't even know. I don't have any body armor. It's interesting. We'll sell this because I really do not need it. I don't really have anything else I'm willing to sell right now. We'll buy the bombs. I was hoping he would have keys, but I think I have I have one golden key, so I can reroll all of this. 5 dexterity for a ring, don't need it. 50 equip load capacity, could be nice. Companion. Epic companion is interesting, but I don't have any companion buffs, so it's kind of worthless. Maximum heart, could get that. Yeah. I have red dice. That is for 5 gold. I think I got that for the buff. That's really good. Upgrades a gun or cannon by 1 level. Do we think that it would work on the mini-B? I don't have 52 souls, dude. Oh my gosh. Super illegal gun parts, though. Up to level 5. I'm gonna blow it because I want to see what the B does when I get it up to. Well, it's two-handed now, so I don't get the buff from my shield. S scaling in dex, but it still doesn't do a ton of damage. But I will go ahead and re-roll with the golden key. We'll buy that. To swap this out for this and use a repair powder. I'll probably buy that. More companion stuff. I'll just buy that because, you know, I'm getting to the end of the run anyways. Okay, well now I'm just throwing. So this does a lot of hits, which means it has a lot of chances for critical hits. Not sure how much I like it, though. Don't really need to pawn anything anymore, so we'll go for the bombs. It would be nice to go into the pawn shop to be able to, you know, just get through a room safely, because it's basically a guaranteed room that you're not gonna take any damage from. But we'll skip past it for now. 1 dex. What are the odds I get that last one? Yeah, I also think I'm going to re-roll this, because I'm not noticing it much. I got Deadly Toxins. You have double the crit chance against poisoned enemies, and when I use this gun, I poison them. So I'll go ahead and stick with that. Practically guaranteed crit. And yet I still don't have any abilities that say, like, on critical hit. Gold 1 bombed. I'm gonna go with the resin, because I may as well. You know, this is the first time I've ever evolved a weapon, and I'm not all that inspired by it. Maybe it's because I don't have anything that, like, benefits off of poison damage, really, besides the crit now. Or maybe it's because, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's just bad. Repair armor. We like that. And this is saying that I can upgrade the B 3 more times. Oh, I guess because it did evolve, so it's a new weapon. Kind of wish I had more gold to get it up again, but whatever. We'll go for the plus 10 souls, and then maybe if I get through death without needing to heal myself at all, I will be able to get another maximum perk. This is also turning out to be an incredibly long run. None of my runs to death have ever taken this long. Okay, let's just do this now. No secret rooms on this run, by the way. Companion or boots. Don't like that. At least epic, I like that. I could keep re-rolling for at least legendary, but I think we'll stick with epic and hope we get like a body armor or something. Oh boy. Alright, death gets kind of crazy in the second phase. I'm already throwing. I'm really already throwing. So now he's gonna... Yeah. Okay, that's stupid, and I can't use armor. Okay. That's what I need, is for him to do that thing where he sits in the middle of the room. Okay. Now I'm really throwing. I like that, where he sits still for a really long time. Really gives me a chance to get a lot of these crits with this guy. Good lord, okay. Well, we did it. It was a bit of a rough one. That appears to be legendary gloves. Let me take a look at what we're doing. Enchanted. Damaging hits with bow and crossbow. Not using any of those. Even though if I was, Fury would be crazy. Reduced attack speed. Okay. Returning projectiles gain 100% critical hit chance. So that's like with this, when it returns to me at the end. That could be good. If I could get a freaking on-crit ability. Normally I'm fully leveled up by the time I hit death, so, you know, I've had better runs. So that's always been empty. This is the same thing that it said earlier, and then I went through here, and I got to the Shadow Plains. So me not having very good ad control right now is really gonna hurt me here. I think I'm gonna go with Gain Favor here to get him extra heart, and then I'm just gonna hope not to die between here and the final floor. I'm gonna blow my recoveries. This also grants XP. 5% increased damage with non-crits. I'm gonna be doing so many crits that that's actually worthless, so... This is where the run really gets crazy, though. I mean, when I made it through with that legendary weapon, I had, you know, a legendary weapon, so... Look at those crits, though. If I could just get something that gives me increased damage when I get a critical hit, or, you know, anything, I'd be set for the run. Okay. We're gonna keep going for XP, because I want to get that last trait before I start trying to reroll any. Unlucky. We are getting hosed because we got cursed, so we got this guy in the room. Of course, these guys are just super easy to deal with here, so... Alright, 2.5% increase attack speed. Let's go for that. Dear lord! Okay. I think I'm just, like, throwing. I do still have a couple of repair powders left. I honestly don't know if you can get taverns or blacksmiths on these extra floors. But we'll see what the last trait is. I don't have any on bomb effects, and my lucky hit chance is not very high. Kind of useless. Boost buffs are permanent. That's really fun. Critical hits with melee and range attacks trigger the attack of a non-channeling magic weapon in your first inventory slot. So I need a magic weapon. But I like that. That's finally something to do with critical hits. But I need to pick up a magic weapon. Refill a flask or get a key. I'm still good with one key for now, so I hope that I get a magic weapon. Because look at how many magic attacks I could be doing if I had that. Just look at all those crits. 5% lucky hit chance, let's go. Just look how easily... When an enemy stands still, they have no chance against these flying crosses, but odds they stand still feel kind of low. Buy items. Please have a magic weapon. Companion. I'm gonna cry. Enchantment, what are my enchantments looking like? I don't have an enchantment for the max EB. But I also don't have souls. I didn't realize this was a soul shop. Equipped load capacity. I'm encumbered right now, so that would make me unencumbered. But you see what I mean about it being like really hard to see what's going on? And there goes my armor. Now I'm really just running. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to use another repair powder. It's unfortunate. I do still have a flask. I'll save it one more room at least. Do it before the boss. Highest attribute or attack speed? That will do attack speed. Damn, maybe I really should not have saved it. Holy crap, this might be it. I can't. Yep, I think I just threw it. That is unfortunate. That was a pretty good run. But I did get to death and past death, so that just sucks. I finally had a good critical trait, and I couldn't make it work. I think I should get to the next level of Mastery XP here, so pretty close to level 24. And once I get to level 30, I can finally turn off all of the Cinder modifiers, and it'll get a lot easier. Guess we'll do that and work towards the secret rooms and mimics. Anyways, I guess that's the first video. Long run, but I did make it through death with a new class as well, so it's always a good time. I'll probably be making more of these videos. I think I'm going to start Twitch streaming as well. I'm fairly certain nobody's going to watch me, but hey, where's the fun in saying that? I like this game, figured I may as well stream it while I play it, so thanks for watching.